Everybody. Hope you're having a nice, lovely time wherever you are listening to this. This is podcast 133 for IncGamers. I'm Peter Parrish. I'm joined by the usual crew. Paul Younger, hello.
Hello!
Is that your normal voice, Paul?
Yes!
Yeah, I have a problem, Paul, because whenever I introduce you, right, I also have to edit the recording because you're quite loud and it kind of spikes, and I have to try to take the edge off it. Yeah, that's better. Thank you. Also here, Tim McDonald. Hello, Tim.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's not going to help at all either. That's going to be like another high-pitched one that I'm going to have to... Oh, I almost want to start again.
I'm sorry.
No,
We
it's
just
fine.
shout our way.
This is
Hello,
just...
Peter. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Are we ready to get steamy up in here?
Oh.
The last time someone said that, actually, no, I'm not telling that story.
Last time
Yes.
someone said that, he was in the Tottenham Hotspur's hot tub with Gareth getting steamy.
That's Gareth Bale, of course, that you're referring to there, who is currently injured. Bit sad about that. It means there's no Gareth Bale news, other than him being injured, I guess.
Is he? Are we kind of? Is he the IncGamers sponsored footballer or something? But he doesn't know about it.
Yeah,
what
it's
it
a
is,
sort of...
what it is that him and Peter Molyneux are on our dinner wish list. If there was anyone that we could have dinner with,
Yeah, we can't sponsor him. There's no way we could afford to sponsor Gareth Bale.
Maybe we can get him to sponsor us.
Maybe.
We give him loads of. We give him such a fucking PR boost
Yeah.
by talking about it every week on a completely unrelated topic.
And let's face it, if he gave us, I don't know, even 0.5% of his weekly salary, that would be an amazing sponsorship deal for us.
Yeah, that'd be good. Paul,
So, yeah.
get on that.
On it.
Gareth, if you're out there and you're not too weirded out by our strange fixation upon your manly chest, then
You had
you will be
to
now.
You had to mention the chest, didn't you?
I did. Anyway,
Oh.
To mention his rugged, manly chest.
and his chiseled features. And
Wait, are we
his...
going to do the news, or are we going to talk about Tottenham Hotspurs and Gareth Bale's?
Well, it's Real Madrid now, of course, Paul.
Sorry, the Real Madrids.
You're back with the... You're still on the FIFA 2014 demo where he's still at Tottenham. But no, he's gone. Anyway,
That's enough talk of Gareth Bale's.
yes, no more about Gareth Bales. Yeah, what was I... Oh, that's right, Steam. This is how this all happened. Yeah, one the first of the big Valve announcements has been announced this Monday, which was the SteamOS. Now we're in a slightly awkward position here, I will say, because obviously they're going to announce something else on Wednesday, pretty much when this podcast goes up, which could potentially invalidate anything we have to say about the SteamOS. And then another announcement on Friday, which could invalidate it even more, but that's not going to stop us speculating about this. Damn it, we're going to do it anyway.
Peter,
Yeah.
can you explain to me what this is? Because I don't really. I had a read of the news story. I had a look at the official site, and I kind of still don't understand it. I want it. I just don't know why.
I was hoping to
you-
hand off to someone else to explain it because no, I
Okay.
don't really know either. It's one of those things where you kind of need the other announcements to get the full picture. I know it's an operating system. I know it's based around Steam. I know it's running on Linux architecture. That's sort of about it. I know it's free.
It's kind of like having like a Windows 98 disk sitting on your side, but you got nothing to put it in.
I guess, yeah.
What?
Is it? Is it like that?
Look, you can't do anything with it, can you? Well, you can.
It's going on. Oh my god, this segment's going brilliantly.
Can you tell I didn't read the news story?
Even people who have read the news story don't really know what it's about yet, so it's not a
That
problem.
that was genuinely the worst analogy I've ever heard. It's like a Windows 98 disk sitting on the side, but you can't do anything with it except you can.
There you go. Why
Well,
aren't they? I bet Valve are glad that they included us in the email where they were informing people about these announcements. I bet they're really glad to have us on side. We're so well informed.
Can we go back to Gareth Bale? That's safe territory.
Yeah,
we know where we are.
I know where I am with Gareth Bale. You always know where you are with Gareth. Good lad.
This announcement comes on the back of Big Gabe giving a talk last week, isn't it? At this Linux
Yes.
convention where he was going on about TV and him in your living room. Although I don't think I want in my living room. But
my living room's not big enough.
so, like you say, this is 1/3 of the puzzle, and the second part of the puzzle will be the Steambox, and then just for the fuck of it, the third part of the puzzle will be Half-Life 3.
Oh, Paul, you trickster. I think you're right about the Steambox part. Yeah, I mean, they said this is an OS to go on living room machines, which I don't know if they've been sort of intentionally vague about that, because I assume they just mean any sort of PC, but maybe they mean more than that, because otherwise wouldn't they have just said a PC? I don't know. It's a little bit odd. And of course, it can do streaming. It can stream from one PC to another one with this SteamOS on it. So as someone from Polygon, I think, cheekily tweeted, you can now buy a bad PC to play the games that you could have played on your good PC.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, why do you stream from one PC to another PC when you can just sit in front of the other PC?
I don't know, if you really want to play on your living room telly, which I do sometimes.
Do we really want to do that? Why not just have a telly on your PC?
Well, I do sometimes because I want to play in the living room and also spend time with my wife rather than squirreling myself away in my office.
Why?
I can understand that, actually. Yeah, I mean, it'd be quite nice. I've been meaning to set up something similar here because you guys can see I've got a TV behind me. The viewers can't, but frankly, nobody cares.
I thought that was just a big black square into the darkness of your soul, Tim.
No, that's in the cupboard. That's off to the other side.
Yeah, you got to turn the webcam a little bit to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to set up streaming and big picture and all the other crap on that TV for a while, and I haven't gotten around to it. And quite frankly, the prospect of buying essentially a small 50 quid box that essentially does it all for me is considerably easier than buying a second shit PC to do it with.
Yeah, or a massive HDMI cable, which would be my other option, but I don't really want to mess around with that either. Yeah, I mean, I guess the thinking is that there will, at the very least, be a cheap little box that Valve is trying to flog that will stream your stuff, will play some stuff, maybe, will also stream, like, they mentioned, like, music and movies and stuff too. I know Steam is working with Spotify, so that's probably going to be part of it. We could speculate about, Netflix and stuff like that, but that's not confirmed in any way. So
we could, but we're approaching sort of Microsoft Xbox press conference there when they announced one and went on about TV. So let's not do that.
See, Tim, you're right on the same wavelength as me on this. Everyone's really apart from this Windows 98 thing, but it's like we all slag off the console stuff about how everything going on TV, and yet everyone now is suddenly super excited about this SteamOS and the fact that they'll be able to have another box and stream it to their telly. And I don't get it, actually.
I think there is an interesting angle in the sense that this is the beginnings of a free operating system that you could bung on a PC. So if they make that nice and easy somewhere down the line, is that going to
It's Linux, it's not going to be nice and easy.
Yeah, but maybe Valve can make it easy.
There already is a free operating system that you can bung on any PC, and it's called Linux.
Yeah, but nobody wants to use that. Let's be honest.
True.
Nobody except some kind of coding wizard with their magical coding hands wants to bother with that.
No, it's not honestly. It's not bad. It's not that bad. Seriously, even I have managed to do it.
All right. So was I being prejudiced? I apologise, Linux fans. A bit.
You're all about the Microsoft money, aren't you? You're in their pocket.
No, well, I'm worried because I like Windows 7 a lot, and I don't like the sound of Windows 8 a lot, and maybe if they keep being crap, then I'm kind of scared about where I'll have to go next.
No, I mean, it's the typical Microsoft thing. You have one good operating system and then one shit operating system.
That's
just
true.
the way it works.
That's true.
You had good DOS, and then you had Good DOS, then Windows 3.1, then Good DOS, then Windows 95, then Windows 98.
Did it have Millennium
so
or
forth.
something? Was it not a Windows Millennium or some crap?
Yeah, Windows ME was terrible.
Yeah.
And I think that was followed up by, XP, which was good, and then Vista, which was shit, and then Windows 7, which was good, and then
now
Windows
Windows
8.
8, which is rubbish. So
So the
yeah,
next
okay.
one's amazing.
Fair enough.
I want to ask, actually, should we do a bit of speculation about what the other two announcements are? I know we kind of glossed over it before. I'm pretty certain the Steambox will be one of them, but the third one?
Well, also, do we think the Steambox is going to come in different varieties? Do we think it's just going to be this little cheapo box, or do we think it's also going to be a kind of pseudo console option too?
See, I think it's going to come in different varieties. I think you're going to be able to get it in white or in black. And probably in 6 months' time, they'll release a pink one.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Do you think they'll do a Nintendo and like make it small and then make it bigger and then maybe put two boxes together with a hinge?
So that you can sort of flip up and see
Yeah.
what?
A
Something.
clamshell.
Okay.
Actually, that's an interesting point. Do you think they might nick? Was it the Nvidia thing? I can't remember what it was called.
Nvidia Shield, yeah.
Yeah, do you think they might nick that idea and do streaming to a handheld?
Nah.
No.
No.
No, because the shield anyway is probably the biggest waste of time I've ever seen in a peripheral since the space orb. If anyone remembers what the space orb is.
I thought that's where you broadcast from, Paul. The space.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah. No, the space orb was like it was bizarre. They kind of released it for shooters. It was like a console controller with a round ball on it, and you kind of turned the round ball to move. It was just the most ridiculous thing
like
ever.
a sort of trackball thing, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was called a sporb or something.
Trackballs are just horrible.
I'm unsurprised that I've never heard of this.
I've got it somewhere. It'll be in my collection of
museum.
useless shit.
Brilliant. Yeah, okay, so one of the other ones is going to be Steambox.
We're pretty sure of that. But the other one, I'm having a bit more difficulty because I can think of things peripherally related that it could be. I mean, I could see this being an announcement of Source 2 or whatever it is, the next engine they're supposedly working on, but that doesn't really fit with these other announcements.
The sort of general theme, yeah.
I mean, something that only works on SteamOS, but that would be retarded for so many reasons.
Well, what they will do, they'll do the GTA 5. They'll release Half-Life 3, but only on SteamOS. No. And everyone will have to go to it.
They're not. I honestly don't believe Valve are that stupid.
All that would mean was everyone will have to learn how to dual boot their PC into SteamOS to play it, which is kind of annoying.
I confess that saying Valve aren't that stupid is a bit of a stretch after the continual rubbish with Steam Greenlight and all the other crap they've done recently, but still.
Yeah, well, if you go by the little sort of symbols on the site, the SteamOS one was the circle. The second announcement, which will already have happened when...
Is it a triangle? And is the next one a square?
No, it's not the psychic tarot card things. Let's go through the round window. No, it's... the second one was the circle, but with, like, brackets around it. And then the last one was a circle with a plus sign and another circle. So if the circle always represents SteamOS, okay, the second one is SteamOS inside some brackets, which could be the Steambox, and then the third one is SteamOS plus another SteamOS.
I told you, man. Put it together.
Peter, are you treating this like some sort of ARG? Is this actually just the Half-Life 3 announcement and there are clues hidden in there?
Peter, have you spent the afternoon on Reddit by some chance?
Peter, have you been talking to David Icke? Lizards involved.
Good old... Yeah, well, what it means is lizard men are living inside your Steambox. I don't know, man. It would be hilarious if this was actually leading up to a genuine Half-Life 3 announcement.
He said 3 announcements, which must mean it's Half-Life 3, and there's 3 circles.
You've been checking it.
No, there's 4, because there's 1 on the first one, 1 on the second one, and then 2 on the last one.
They're announcing Half-Life 4.
Yes. And
3 was like
Dead,
they've
3
missed
and
out 3.
7. Yeah, okay. So, in conclusion, we don't know.
What a
We
great.
don't know.
By the time you're listening to this, you will already know more than we do.
No,
Yeah.
they won't, because this will be going out in the first thing in the morning, so they won't.
Okay, they'll have like maybe an hour. Well, it's going to be like, yeah, it's going to be a good 10 o'clock Pacific time, I think, the next one on Wednesday. So yeah, if we get it out a few hours before that, this won't seem quite so stupid and ill-informed. It'll be almost relevant. That's good.
It won't seem so stupid and ill-informed for about 3 hours.
Yeah, then it
For
will.
the rest of the week.
Well, we will be covering it as well this week. I think we're gonna,
Oh, of
when
course.
after the third one's announced, we're gonna debate this and discuss what all this
Yeah,
means. In other words, or how excited we are for Half-Life 3 that was announced on Friday. That's coming up, obviously.
announced for iOS systems.
God, yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah, because everything they tease turns out to be a fucking iOS announcement.
I was
That's what
pleased that
is
this
going to
wasn't.
be. It's going to be an expansion, Steam to mobiles, and they're going to have mobile games on the Steam app for the iPhone and Android. That's what it's.
God.
You know, now you've
That
said
was-
that makes a
The sad
terrifying.
thing is,
That makes a terrifying amount of sense. I hate you.
yeah, it actually kind of does, doesn't it?
Oh God. No, but this has nothing. Well, I suppose it does still relate to like playing in your living room because you could just
Yeah,
get your mobile phone out and oh
yeah.
God.
I hope I'm wrong.
Me too. I hope that's the wrongest part. I hope that part's even more wrong than the Windows 98 analogy.
That's
Anyway,
I don't even know how that would be possible.
Look, I've had a long day. Leave me alone.
so more Valve stuff while we're on it. Dota 2 got a bit of an expansion-y, patchy thing. This expansion is a bit grandiose, perhaps, but a First Blood update. Tim, you're the only one who knows anything about this. So.
I'm a little bit disappointed with it, to be perfectly honest with you, if only because I was hoping for a new hero. Because this is, I'm assuming it's called First Blood because it is the first big patch since Dota 2 actually released.
Okay.
So, kind of hoping for a new hero or something really big. But no, there's a new game mode that I don't think too many people will bother with. There are some much needed refinements to the armory and the backpack because, frankly, sorting through all your items is a massive chore. So it's pretty good to see that. Yeah, there's a couple of other little patches, tweaks, and so on. The most exciting thing is the fact that they've got a Portal 2 pack in the store, which adds GLaDOS as an announcer for the game.
Okay.
So while playing Twitch 2, you can have GLaDOS being sarcastic at you, which is lovely.
Instead of other members of your team being sarcastic at you, presumably.
No, you get them, and actually they're rarely sarcastic. I think that's above. Sarcasm is too far above most Dota players. They're not quite sure what it means.
I see.
No, they're just arseholes.
Oh, that's not very nice. So not a particularly major patch then, and
No, which, as I say, is a bit of a shame because we know they're obviously working on more heroes, but we know there's a couple that seem to be reasonably close based on what people keep mining out of the patches. They can see the spell effects and models and textures and things like that. So there's a few that are presumably reasonably close to completion. And yeah, it's just kind of weird that we didn't get one in this patch. It's a bit of a shame.
oh well. Well, I know
The heroes are the big things.
I know one expansion that certainly won't be disappointing people, and that's the SimCity expansion, right?
God.
Oh,
Right.
is this the one? Is this the
Right.
one that's got bigger cities?
Yeah, and like lets you play offline and stuff. That's what I've
Yeah,
come to understand.
that patch is only in your imagination, Tim, and that is where it's going to stay.
Yeah, I have a horrible feeling when I say that.
Yeah. This is a weird one, and I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed that they haven't taken the bull by the horns and thought, right, we've really screwed up here. Let's sort this game out once and for all. But no, they thought, let's not let them build out the way. Let's let them build up the way.
Yes, verticality.
I part of me thinks that that's probably they've almost certainly had this expansion planned since before SimCity actually came out. And they just haven't changed their plans. They've just carried on with this anyway.
Well,
Do you mean
the thing
it
is,
probably could have been in the game and they took it out to sell later at an exorbitant price?
who knows? Well, was it was it March it was released? Am I right in that? March 5th or
Yes, I
something?
think so.
So it's pretty unusual for a game to get an expansion this soon, which you might not be wrong on that. I mean, it's only, what, 5 months, 6 months? I know there's not a hell of a lot to do in SimCity, partly because the maps are so damn small, Maxis. But to go and charge...
Maxis.
I mean, it's 30 quid. 30 quid! You can buy a whole game for that.
You can buy several if you wait for Steam sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's in this then? You get some futuristic buildings and sort of futuristic roads and futuristic stuff.
There's something called Omega, which is basically some sort of, well, it's almost like drugging your city, effectively, that makes your stuff more proficient but at producing stuff, but it also causes more pollution. It's just kind of pissing about with the same game mechanics, just switching things around, bugging in some new buildings and going, here, 30 quid.
I mean, that doesn't sound too bad, but it does sound quite bad for 30 quid.
Yeah, in fairness, that would probably be fine if it weren't for the fact that SimCity is in the state it's in.
I mean, all the comments I've read today, because I think it's a developer blog that's just gone up about an hour ago or so, explaining some of the new features that have been added in this. And literally, the comments, there was only like 5 when I looked, were like, yeah, that's all well and good, Maxis, but fix the damn game first. Oh, and how about some larger maps? And they're all like that. People don't really give a toss about new buildings and stuff like that. What they want is a fixed game.
Yeah. I mean, you could contrast this with Rome 2 and how Creative Assembly have been handling that, because I've been actually pretty impressed with what they've been doing with that. They've committed to a sort of weekly patch schedule. They have stuck to that. They've been pretty major patches. It's been, not completely fixing everything, obviously, but is improving stuff bit by bit. Imagine if they'd instead gone like, well, here's our expansion. Here's the Julius Caesar expansion for like 30 quid. It's not fixed yet, the game, but hey.
The thing is, devs don't usually like to admit when they've screwed up, and we have to look, and I think I mentioned this before. We have to look at what Blizzard had done with the Diablo 3 auction house, where everyone told them it was going to screw it up. They said no, it's not, and then a year later they're going, yeah, this is really bad. Actually, it has screwed the game up, so we're going to take it away.
Yeah.
So Maxis could go, yeah, we screwed up. People want larger maps. That's what they've all been asking for from day one. They're disappointed with what they can't do in the game. So we should really rectify this and sort it. And they just haven't done that. It's almost like they're sticking stubbornly to the fact that we don't need larger maps. In fact, you should just go and start another city. Well, no, I can't be arsed.
Here's the question. Could they actually do that if they wanted to? Can the engine do larger maps? I mean, that's kind of my thinking on this now. Maybe it's not even really possible.
I agree with you. I think there's a lot I like about the Glassbox engine, but at the same token, I think there are things in there that are stopping them doing maybe what they want to do. Hence the reason you can build up the way and not out the way. Because the sky's the limit. But the ground isn't.
Didn't they say in an interview, I think it was possibly even one of our interviews ages back, that they could expand the size when computers were capable of dealing with it, or something like that?
Tim?
Then again, that was back when they were lying through their teeth.
Every interview we did two, I think we did 2 or 3 interviews just pre-release. Maybe 2 pre-release and 1 post-release. The story was different every time. No matter who you talked to, everybody had a different story to tell. Which kind of left the community a bit flummoxed, and I think the mass confusion confused everybody, and everyone just went and bought it anyway because they were so confused.
Well, I don't know. They wanted us to play a new SimCity, and it looked pretty nice prior to release. It still looks nice.
I'd go back into it, but I know I will hit a wall. I know that I'm going to, if I keep playing it now, I'm going to hit that wall where I want a bigger map, and I can't be bothered to hit that wall and invest all that time in it. So I'm just not even going to bother. I really want to play it, but I'm just not going to bother.
It's a bit of a problem for a game there if it's not going to hook you.
It did hook me. Don't get me wrong. I was totally hooked on it, but then I hit that wall, and then I started another city, and I hit the wall again, and I just thought, Nah, forget it.
Yeah. Well, while we're on the subject of games, sort of incomplete games, there were a few stories this week kind of relating to this whole early access system that they have on Steam, which isn't unique to Steam by any means. Other games kind of release it early to their communities. I kind of wanted to see what we thought about this now that it seems to be becoming more of a theme. I mean, we've got Godus, obviously, which is out there. That came from a Kickstarter. We've got State of Decay, which is now in a pretty finished form, I think. It does have mouse and keyboard controls hidden away in there somewhere. And actually, I lumped Takedown in with this because at the time there was a theory that the early access version had been like released by accident because the game folder was called Takedown Early Access. That's actually since been confirmed. It's not the case. They didn't release the wrong version, which is interesting because it kind of had a lot of problems with it.
They may
But,
well have done.
Yeah. What do we think about this? Is it a great way to involve your community with the game early on, or is it a cheap way to get people to beta test and get some money out of it early? Or
My opinion on this is that I think it's both. And if you, as a consumer, if you want to take that risk and put up with any frustrations or whatever, and you want to pay for it, then it's your choice. I don't actually have a problem with it if ultimately when the game's launched, it is a better game. But the thing is, with most of these things, people who play beta tests or alpha tests, they're just playing to get in early, and that's about the extent of it. There are obviously, that's a bit unfair on people who do submit bugs and who are very active at trying to make the game a better game. But the vast majority are just basically saying so they can go to their mates, "Oh, I'm in the blah blah blah. Are you in the blah blah blah?" It's just bragging rights. So I think if people are willing to pay for it, I don't see the problem with it, and I think devs should take advantage of that as much as possible if they can get a better game out at the end.
that's a very reasonable and measured view, Paul. Thank you.
No problem at all, anytime.
Do you think, though, I was reading a lot of Godus previews, including ours. I was kind of wondering if you think this can hurt some games, though, because obviously quite a lot of the previews out are not particularly positive, in part because it's only like less than half the game. So while they've got some like early opinions out there, it's kind of like you might be killing your hype before it's even begun, which seems a bit risky.
That's kind of always the risk, both with early betas that actually are betas and aren't just an excuse to play the game 2 weeks early to drum up some PR. But so it's also the risk with releasing preview builds to the press. Because we occasionally slag things off, even in preview. I mean, we normally...
That's only that's pretty much only us, though.
I don't know. But, I mean, we normally try to be reasonably measured. If there's a load of bugs or what have you, then you reasonably assume that they're going to be fixed, particularly if the developers actually say beforehand, yes, we're aware of this bug and this bug and this bug. They're only in this build that we're sending out, so they're fine in the unstable development build we've got in the office and so on. I mean, you kind of have to... There's only certain things you can really talk about because a lot else is actually going to change prior to launch. But yeah, that's the thing with Godus and things like that. I just don't think the game is there.
Yeah, Paul, you were trying to jump in there before making.
I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Nice. So, well, how useful is it then?
Oh no, I know what it is.
Okay,
I know what it is. Right, that was it. If you're a game developer, right, I would, if I was a game developer, which I'm not, I would want to know what was wrong with my game at an early enough stage to fix it.
Yeah.
When you're working on something yourself, you get kind of jaded and tunnel vision, thinking that everything you're doing is right, and it isn't necessarily the case. In the big scheme of things, if I was spending a lot of money on game development and I had a team around me, I would want other ideas and other input from other people, and then assess it and say, okay, this is wrong, this is not going to work, people are not going to like this, or a majority of people are not. The problem comes when you have typical forum scenario, for example, where you start getting people rounding up and they're just agreeing with each other for the sake of agreeing with each other and not really thinking about it. So you do have to take all that criticism with a pinch of salt when it comes at you like that. But sometimes things are so obvious and you kind of go, yeah, okay, I kind of see the point in that. And that's probably just for like every game that could be applied to.
I have had a couple of developers once or twice mention to me that they actually really like seeing negative previews because they are helpful in terms of working out what still needs to be fixed with the game. Because when you are working on something sort of 24/7, then you do kind of you stop seeing it from an outside perspective. You only know about it from your own internal perspective. You know how it's built. It's everybody else that doesn't. It's the players. They're the useful ones, which is why it is useful to get outside perspective. So negative previews aren't necessarily a bad thing, but however, they can be very, very bad for your PR.
So you're hoping that 22 Cans are looking at these previews going, oh yeah, the PC crowd think it's a bit too much like a phone game at the moment, and there's too much clicking, and we're going to hopefully modify that, or maybe they know that it already has been modified internally and that they're going to sort this out anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I think with Godus, it's a bit of a weird one. Obviously, coming on the back of the chip the shit out of the Cube game. I know that's not what it was called, but
I think
it was everything was geared towards touch and mobile, and you kind of wonder if they're kind of trying to get out of that mindset at all for this, or even if that was their initial intention anyway. But certainly, I think I said in last week's cast, I think unless they do make it a little bit more complex, I think it is going to be a missed opportunity. I seriously do think it could be a good game. I just think it needs work.
Yeah, I'd mostly agree. I mean, I've spent quite a while playing it. It's the mechanics and the basic idea are okay. It just needs a hell of a lot of fine tuning, and it actually needs a game putting in there, which is what it's really missing at the moment. Because right now it just feels like, I don't know, Farmville, Godville. We'll call it Godville.
Godville, absolutely. I mean, the situation with Takedown is an odd one, especially because some of the people who played it sort of pre-release have said things like the AI was better and things like that. So it's kind of weird that it's toned down now. I know the sort of official response from the developers, a lot of which was just, it's a hardcore shooter, it's supposed to be like this, which fit for some of the problems, but not so much for some of the others.
Did you just say that the AI was tuned down? Because not when I was bloody playing it, they shot me through bloody walls and shit.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is they were reacting, I guess, more tactically rather than just being a hotshot sniper that could kill you without blinking from a mile away. I don't know. Or maybe they were just talking rubbish. Maybe the AI hasn't changed at all. But it was a placebo effect.
Were they talking about like enemy AI? Or were they talking about friendly AI in the solo play?
I think enemy AI.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. Because I mean, we've got a preview of Takedown on the site. I spent a couple of hours playing a preview build single player, and I spent an hour playing it multiplayer with the developers, and I had a really good time. And there weren't too many problems in there. Every time we did hit a bug, they actually mentioned that they'd known about it and so on and so forth. But most of the bugs that cropped up post-launch, like actually connecting to games, weren't things that we hit at all.
Yeah, that's what we ran into when we tried to play.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to release a multiplayer game and then not have the multiplayer in it.
It does dampen the experience somewhat. We did manage one multiplayer game, you and I, Paul, with Stephen Hawking. He was playing with us too, which was interesting.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Oh, don't look behind you.
Was that voice chat, or is it just that it's got an amazing text-to-voice thing on it? Because
I think the
Sanctum
latter.
has that.
I think,
oh, that's so good.
I think all the text is using the same speech program that Stephen Hawking used, which is amazing. You get these guys going like, "I'm on the roof."
Maybe they actually voice cast him, and they actually bought him in.
Well, that would have been an extraordinary waste of money. That's where all the Kickstarter cash went.
What are you doing, you dick? Stop shooting me.
Oh, I used to have so much fun in Sanctum doing that, just while waiting for my co-op partners to hurry up building shit, because they took forever to do anything. They would sit there and plan out every move minutely, so I would just type in random shit to hear it in a Stephen Hawking voice.
Yeah, well, for all the problems Takedown has, that isn't one of them. I've seen people complaining about that, but I don't understand. Why would you ever complain about that amazing feature? It's ridiculous. Well, I guess since we're sort of into what we've played or attempted to play, shall we go fully into what we've been playing this week? Yes, let's do that. Let's do it now.
Exciting.
I don't know which order to go in really, because I wouldn't say that any of us have played major releases this week, but nonetheless, they're all important games. Paul, you've been in the jungle. What have you been doing there?
Basically getting my people shot down. Bit of war crime action this week, which was
Yes, I noticed that in your preview, Mr. War Crimes. What's all that
good. Yeah.
about? Firing up
War
Agent
crime
Orange.
of the week. Yeah, I've been playing Air Conflict Vietnam, which is Calypso's upcoming arcade shooter flight game. I actually didn't play any of the previous Air Conflict ones, so it was quite interesting from my point of view, mainly because I think they were mainly geared at console. I think the original ones, or am I thinking of that other game? I can't remember. Anyway,
I don't know.
yeah. So this takes you to Vietnam right from the start of the conflict through as a sort of new pilot, and you have aircraft and you have choppers at this time. So you have choices of different. There are different missions of which you will be either in aircraft or in choppers, and it's actually it's bizarrely quite fun. I can't really put my. I think it's because the missions are quite short.
Hmm.
So you're always doing something different in a short amount of time. So I think I did a mission this morning, and that took me like 3 minutes. It was
Oh
really
wow.
really quick.
You're not kidding when you say short then.
Yeah, no, I mean literally it was basically there's a convoy moving, go and destroy the shit on the ground,
Yeah.
and there's three aircraft in your squadron. Basically, drop the bombs, blow up the things, avoid the AA guns, and then one of the things you can do in the game is you can switch from each aircraft, so you can then take the hot seat of one of the other pilots, and then take over their aircraft. So after